I like the way these trees look. I see some nuts in here, which is good. Dad made a decision about halfway into the planting process to plant a variety known as Wichita. That was a very good decision in hindsight.
My grandfather, just such a smart man. He always was very entrepreneurial, very forward-thinking, and always looking at ways to how can we improve the land, how can we improve the soil, how can we look at water and quality and conservation. And my father definitely inherited that attribute from my grandfather.
Dick has basically expanded FICO and the industry of pecans. Dick's taken it to the next level. He's helped bring it across the world.
I've worked for Dick Walden since 2000, and what I've learned is he just cares about people. He cares about the employees. He has a tremendous sense of responsibility to the community. And so many of our agreements still to this day are handshake agreements, be it with customers, suppliers, neighbors, where Dick's word is golden. It really is. FICO is the acronym for Farmers Investment Co., and that is the holding company that has a lot of different businesses under it. The Green Valley Pecan Company is our processing and sales and marketing arm, and that's where we handle all the nuts. And then we also have 3 farms. We have the Santa Cruz farms here, south of Tucson, Arizona, which are the farms we planted in 65 to 70. We have the San Simon farms, which are right at the border of Arizona and New Mexico, and we've been planting those for the past 8 years. And then we have a farm in Albany, Georgia that we've been farming for about 20 years.
We consider the safety of our product to be one of the elements of good production practice, good marketing practice. Our customers can be secure that our product is safe.
We don't have many quality issues where product gets to a customer that hasn't met their specification. But in the few times we've had, there's never been a question by ownership or upper management that we don't pick that product up right away, bring it back, and provide product that the customer expects.
You have to have a quality tree to get a quality orchard. These trees are all budded. We plant a seedling, nuts that come off the orchard. We plant them, they grow for a year, then at the end of the second year we bud them to the variety we want. I feel like all the trees in the orchard are my children that we planted back in the 60s.
Okay, so this is a Wichita. You can see it's just starting to open now. Wichitas are an early maturing variety. This is the hull. As you can see, the nuts open. These will be ready to harvest here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. If you cut the end off of the nut, you can see that nut is completely full all the way around. That's one thing you look for high quality pecan.
It's rewarding. You're producing a product to see them go from a little seed in the ground up to a big tree that produces nuts and provides nuts for the company and for the people to eat around the world. We're kind of proud of the fact that FICO has the biggest pecan orchard in the world in one unit.
When it's time to harvest, you know, everybody shuts down what they're doing. I leave a few guys in the shop. You got to take it real serious, which I do. You know, it's a lot of people tell me, why do you get so excited? I say, this is what pays us.
we take water conservation very seriously. Crops require water. Some crops require more water than others. The good news about FICO's efforts are that about a quarter to a third of the water we use goes directly back into the water table.
I oversee all the in-shell coming into the facility, making sure that it's stored properly, that we're pulling out what we need to crack in order to meet our sales demands.
Small, medium pieces, that's the special one.
Okay, for the extra testings. We're BRC certified. This is our 6th year being certified. BRC stands for British Retail Consortium. We were the first pecan company in the world to achieve that.
Through advances in technology and improvement in what our people are doing, today we do almost 2.5 times the amount of pecans through the plant on a daily basis as opposed to what we did in 1974.
Beginning in the early 80s, we engaged in an effort to export pecans, and now we are major exporters to Europe. Something more than 50% of our sales of pecan meats go to outside the United States. That does include Canada and Mexico. It does include the Far East, and we're beginning to open up markets in the Middle East and in India. We've been selling to China for several years.
We use the Green Valley pecans because of their freshness. They keep a great supply for us as well as other vendors in town here. They're always reliable. We have people that come in and ask for the pecans, especially our pecan bark. Pies we do exclusively for them, the large 9-inch pies. The biggest time is Christmas and Thanksgiving, but all in all year long it's a great seller.
Can we get a couple guys and let's move these tables that are under these 2 tents? We have 3rd generation employees, kids that I grew up with who now work for us. It's really family. You're able to succeed, and you know when things need to get done, they jump on the bandwagon. They're there for you. They're like, what can I do to help? How can I help? And when do we need to get it done?
We really recognize employees as our greatest asset, and we really feel that they are our family, especially in a family-run enterprise. One thing we try to do at FICO is promote young people into positions of responsibility who have been with the company, so to promote from within. Many of the technical innovations that we have made, which can save hundreds of thousands of dollars, have been employee ideas, and we encourage that. Eliminating wastage, spillage, speeding up the assembly line process, getting more halves out of our production line. These are all things that go directly to the bottom line.
People like working here at the farm. We like having them around, and we like to think that they really enjoy everything that goes on around the farm, because being a farm, it's not just a static sitting at a desk doing one thing. You're doing lots of things.
But heavy rains can be a problem. The older employees and the 2nd and 3rd generation employees know when I was a young person, I did every job that was available on the farm at some point in time. There was no job that we asked an employee to do that I hadn't done.
About 4 years ago, when fuel went over $4 a gallon and we were heading into a winter, Dick decided to give a raise across the board to all employees to help them cover the costs of heating their homes as well as driving their cars. And he just does things like that. Those stories pass on from generation to generation.
I grew up on this farm. My dad started here in the 70s. Grew up working from irrigator to mechanic, basically every aspect of the farm.
Having this type of responsibility means I work a lot. They see me working at home, they hear me on the phone talking about all kinds of things. So I think it definitely has impacted my girls to want to further their education because they say they want a job like mom. They want to be the boss.
We are proud of all our employees, but women bring a collaborative style of leadership that is very healthy for corporations.
It's a special place because you feel at home, people care about each other. It's literally being part of something that you're giving back to the community. You feel you have a reason to go to work. You don't feel the pressure that you'd necessarily feel in a high, intense manufacturing facility.
When it came time for the district in its growth to have a need for a new high school and to seek out what would be the best location for that school, the Walden family was very receptive, very open, and very collaborative in their desire to work with us to help this school become a reality.
¿Qué hora es ahorita?
Right now?
Muy bien.
Last year we had an opportunity to be the first school district in Arizona to initiate the National Math and Science Initiative in this community. The Walden family was very strongly supportive from the beginning. In fact, they were one of the first investors, and they invested thousands of dollars into this program.
Public education is one of the cornerstones of our democracy, and it's a leveler in our society. So the idea should be, and the promise, that if you work hard in school and apply yourself and do well, you can be anything you want to be in America.
One has to support the community by giving back in whatever way one can, and sometimes that's a small amount and sometimes it's a larger amount. And, we're blessed to be able to do what we can do.
This is our Sarita Pecan Festival, and we're so delighted to have you all here.
Because we are a food company, we cannot allow people to come into our facility and to, be out in the orchards when we are harvesting. So this was a way to be able to bring the community in and share what we do and how we do it and how we provide for our community, and it just keeps growing and growing.
FICO, over the years and ongoing as well, will be dedicating trails that were open to the public along the Santa Cruz River. It will provide people a safe place to walk through our orchards. FICO and Green Valley Pecan is a significant contributor to the quality of life in this area.
The pecan business and all the tree nut business, the future looks very bright. There's been a lot of research done in the last 20 years to support nuts in a healthy diet, nuts in a healthy lifestyle, and that nuts are good for you. Nuts contain the good fat being polyunsaturated and more monounsaturated fat, which are now recognized to be a contributor to good health. There are studies that show that nuts reduce the incidence of cardiovascular disease, incidence of stroke, and now there's some evidence that nuts in the diet reduce certain kinds of cancers. Okay, the trees look great. They sure have greened up, Rich. I'm glad to see they're picking up the nitrogen. We've been here a long time, and we expect to be here for a long time in the future. 2 children are involved in the business, Rich and Deb, and we hope that they will continue, expect that they will continue, and we have 2 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. Certainly there's opportunity for them to, if they choose to avail themselves of that opportunity in the future, and nothing would make me happier.
And I will continue until hopefully my last breath, like my grandfather, and I know my father will be the same way. I mean, he'll pretty much work until he can't work anymore.
We believe that we're stewards of this land and we're part of the community, and we want to leave a legacy we can be proud of for many generations.
I'll bet William could eat a lot of pecans.
We'll have to make you the taste tester for the store, just so you don't eat all the profits.